righty. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the CNC with Dave Gatton show. I started out was going to just do a hobby CNC Q&A, kind of like we've been doing here the past few weeks, and had a fella send me some pictures. So I posted something on Facebook about anybody had a project they wanted to show off, send me some pictures, and got a whole bunch of pictures. So this may turn into a show and tell show by accident here. I don't know. We'll see. But we'll also take your questions here and there too. So I see that I'm already way behind on the comments here. There's a bunch of you over there, and I'm not even going to try to do shout outs because we got so many. I'd never get them all before we get started here. But anyhow, I got my buddy Hobby here with me today.
Evening, folks.
How are you doing, Hobby?
Doing well. Tired. Been tiling the kitchen today, so a bit exhausted.
Yeah, it's a lot harder than tiling in Vectric, isn't
it? Yeah, considerably so.
Yeah, you don't have to wear knee pads when you tile in Vectric.
No, yeah. And it's funny because some people may or may not have seen my post on Facebook. I did a little CNC project today. I didn't want to go out there into the world, and especially into the Home Depot and spend $30-40 because I, as always, can't find my tools when I need them. So I needed knee pads. I needed a grouting, a trowel for the grout, 1/4 by 1/4, 3/16, and little tile spacers. Well, it's a beautiful thing. These little stepper motors come with this Kazon foam stuff. So I took some packing tape, wrapped a few of them around my knees. Fantastic knee pads, and then I cut myself a trowel and a bunch of little spacers in the span of 15 minutes. So up and running.
Yeah, I saw your picture you posted on Facebook. That's pretty neat. Save you a trip to.
There's something else too. It was kind of one of these aha moments, these eye openers. I've been fighting with my inner demons of, hoarding and too much stuff, not enough space. And it occurred to me, I've got 2 boxes. They're up north, but I've got 2 boxes of different trowels. And all I really ever needed was 2 or 3 little pieces of plywood, because I can cut them and when I'm done with the job, throw them away. I mean, it's not like I go tiling every day. So I mean, that's now I don't have to, because you save these tools because, I don't want to throw it away. It cost me $15, and when I'm gonna need it when I'm, what I need to have it when I need it. You never have it when you need it.
Yeah. Man, we got a bunch of folks out there. Jerry Brown's here, Russ Meadows. I saw Michael Chipser out there. Good to see you guys.
Yeah,
all kinds of folks out there.
Yeah, Jerry says he likes the idea of homemade spacers. Let me tell you, they were. I didn't put any tabs on them. I just cut them out, and I cut so many that if some ran into the tool, I don't care. It's a cross, so there's 4 sides. Maybe one side is bad, but I've got 3 other sides to choose from, and they're great. They work fantastic. The tiles are perfect.
Alrighty. Before we get started looking at these pictures, I do want to take a minute and thank everybody that has gone to either the website or watched the playlist or whatever, watch the videos for the quarantine challenge. Getting lots of votes for that, and it's turning into a pretty tight race. So should be interesting. Got another week to go before we announce the people's choice or viewers' choice or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
should be interesting. A lot of getting a lot of emails with votes on that. So if you haven't already, go watch them. Pick your favorite and fill out the little ballot there on the website and make your vote count.
We got a question. We got a question for you from Samurai Logistics that just came up. Working on a table design today, what is better place to stack wood or place for tools or both? Guess that's a general question. To stack wood.
What is better place to stack wood or place for tools or both?
Gonna have to be a little bit more. I think I might have to rephrase that. Need a little bit more grammar on that.
I'm wondering, is it a rhetorical question? Because
yeah,
is what I'm thinking. But yes, Troy, we have another week to vote. Next week, the 16th, we will be announcing the thing. So you find out where I'm going to ship that trophy to. So,
what is better?
Marty, how you doing, Marty?
Stack wood or place for tools or both? Oh, I see. He's working on the table design. What's better, a place to stack wood or a place for tools or both? In other words, when designing his table, I'm assuming he means underneath. What would be better if he designed something to hold wood, designed something to hold tools, or both?
Oh, is he talking about for a CNC? Is that
for the CNC table? Yeah. That's a good question because how many tools would you be using? Yeah, drawers under the shelves definitely is a plus. As long as it's something like, I would love to have drawers under here, but obviously my design folds up. I'd love to have drawers under here and be able to, for wood, I don't know. I think I'd prefer wood at chest level where I could grab it easy and someplace else in the shop, just take it and laterally just drag it to the table rather than pull it out from underneath, bend down, lift up. That's just me. Yeah, I keep mine underneath. I have a spot on my Gatton where I keep it underneath, and then I also have it on my Avid. But I did that really just for two reasons. Is one, I need the storage because I have a lot of the same size blanks. Right. So yeah, all different size blanks. Then it's you almost need a different arrangement. But for me, I just stack 8 or 10 or 12 or however many I have, and plus it helps to weight the machine down, makes the machine not dance around a little bit. So. Yeah, I'm like Becca. I put my tools underneath, but I put my tools. I put cans of paint, tools that I don't necessarily use on a regular basis, because obviously anything I use on a regular basis, you don't want to be. You want them. For me, everything's about not bending down. I hate bending down, but maybe you're younger and you might like that. I don't know. Yeah, and I added a drawer. I did a video on it. That was cool. A while back, where I added a drawer to the center of my Avid, because you just have that kind of empty frame there, and I figured, well, and I made that little. It's just a 2x12, I guess, that I made a little spot for the wrenches to set in, and a bunch of holes to hold the bits, and a couple of places for pencils and stuff like that. And it's deep enough. I also have some of those. I always save those little plastic things that I get my deck screws in when you buy like a 5-pound box of those. Yeah, they're really good to store junk in. Yeah, I use those in the back. But all right, let's. I don't see. Wait a minute. Is that another question? Let me see what this is. I have never done any CNC work and about to buy
my first CNC machine. Do you have any advice on what to do before getting my machine? Well, if you've never had a CNC machine, you can't start learning whatever software you think you're going to buy. And I don't mean just design software like, VCAD Pro or VCAD Desktop or Aspire or any of that, but even the control software. You can download the demos of Mach 3 and UC CNC and all of those. So if you're complete newbie, watch YouTube videos, and if you got an idea of what you're going to buy, go ahead and download the trial versions and start playing around with them.
Yeah, definitely get familiar with Vectric
when you get your CNC. All righty, let's see here.
And I recommend the Hobby Box.
Yeah. All right, I don't see any more questions
for
here.
the controller, and obviously the Gatton for the actual machine.
Okay, I don't think.
Let's see here.
Yeah, and of course I was going to say that, but probably sounds better if Glenn says it. Becca says you're at the right place. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You are at the right place. All right. Okay. I meant to set the screen share up and I always forget to do it. So I've got it going now. So we're going to jump right into these pictures. This is, let me get my emails open over here too. This is, don't tell me, there it is. This is from Dave Matthews. He says, here, well, let me put on my glasses, small print. Let me see if I can, I thought there was a way to blow that up, but no, I guess not. He says, we can't visit Mom this year and really didn't have much shopping available other than Amazon. This is my version of the Vectric Mother's Day button that Becky, that's that little gal that does all the Vectric projects and stuff. Becky posted to YouTube last week. I didn't have 9-inch material for her version, and the local sawmill that I use is closed, so I had to resize it to fit 8-inch wide oak that I had. Because of the way they build the model out of 3D clip art, I couldn't just do a resize and ended up building the entire project following her steps. I learned a lot about clipping and zero planes. Okay, says the final size is 7¼ inches diameter and 0.6 inches thick. Material is oak from a local mill that supplies gunlock furniture. They sell the offcuts for $1. This one was about 2.5 feet long, 8 inches wide. And he used a 1/4 inch down cut for the 3D roughing, buttonholes in the profile cutout, a 1/8 inch ball nose at 8% step over, or 0.01 10,000ths, for the 3D finishing, and a 1/4 inch 60-degree for the V-carb lettering. Finish is Watco Danish oil.
Yep. I love that. I love that Danish oil.
I like that. That turned out really
nice. Yep, absolutely.
And it's got a good saying on it too. I like that.
Yeah.
Very, very appropriate for Mother's Day. All righty. So that's actually Dave is the guy who sent me that. And then that's when I thought, well, let me just see if anybody else got anything they want to show off. And then the floodgates opened. So we've got a few pictures, folks. Let me get to them here. Get them all queued up here.
Yep.
Let's see. I guess I'll just take these in alphabetical order. There's no really any particular order to take them. This is from Dennis Killian.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe this is his entry into the
Yep. Certainly looks it.
as well. But it's a plaque he made for the first responders. It turned out fantastic. Just fantastic. So, very good. And then he said, let's see, let me open up the mail and see if he's got anything I should say about it. Let's see. He says, Dave, here are two pictures. The first picture is a plaque I made to give to our local hospital that honors our first responders. It is made of solid maple and is 23 inches around and 3/4 inch thick. And the second picture is okay, let me flip to the second picture here. Second picture is a plaque I made for a customer to give for Mother's Day, made of walnut with cherry inlay, and is approximately 10 by 5 by 3/4 inches. Very nice. That let's see, what was it? Yeah, the walnut with cherry inlay. That turned out fantastic. I really like that.
Yeah.
Very well done, Dennis. All right, let's see who we got next here. We got. Let me turn that one around. All right. We have. What did I do? Oh, there it is. Okay. Next is, this is from Don Puckett. He says, Dave, some of my projects, of course, it's famous elevated pet feeders.
Yep.
Which he's well known for. And it looks like a shot from some kind of a festival or something. Probably not a recent shot, I'm guessing. And then this one is, he says, some of my projects, hair bow wall plaque for granddaughter cheerleader squad. So I guess it's a wall plaque and it's got the little hooks down there, and I guess they hang their
hair bow.
Hair bows.
I'm going, what's a hair bow? Is that a new type of wood I'm familiar with?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hair bow.
So we got a little Panthers. I like that. Yeah. Little V-carb work. Looks good. Man, it looks like it must be a big cheerleader squad because there's several of them. Looks like a bunch of them. So, all righty. Thank you for sending those, Don. And I'll get the next one queued up there. And it says he sold over 400 of those pet feeders last year.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I don't see any questions or comments.
No, nothing yet. They're all just admiring all the different things.
All right, so let's go back.
David Jones just came in. Evening, David.
All right, let's see. Let me get this one queued up. Okay. And let me get the email set. All right, here we go. This is from Greg Euler, who I don't know if he's out there or not. I don't know if I've seen him out there tonight. Let me blow this up a little bit and get it a little bigger. But let's see what he says here. He says, here's a project I made a while back. It is 35 by 22 and was donated to a charity auction. he said, I wanted to try and make a, let me zoom this one back out, so let me flip. He said, I wanted to try to make a smaller black and white version, and it measures 14 1/4 by 9 1/4. So yeah, that's less than half size, I guess, looks like. Both of them look good. I like them. I think I like the red, white, and blue one a little better than the black and white one. Alrighty, and let's see what was next here. I've got multiple emails. Here's, and I'm not sure what's going to come up if they're in. Okay, yeah, they did. It says, here are some pics of a cooler that I built for a donation to the high school athletics booster club auction.
Nice.
His alma mater and current employer. So this is a cooler, and see, you got the bottle opener on the side of it there. And there's a good view. Got a little spigot so you can drain the water out of it and stuff. Alrighty. Then we have some kid-size cornhole boards that he built for his grandson's 7th birthday.
That's cute.
And his wife Wendy made the bean bags. So yeah, those are cute, aren't they?
That'll keep them out of trouble.
Yeah.
Until they start throwing the bean bags at each other.
Yeah. Oh, they wouldn't do that.
No, not that I ever did that to my brother when I was young. No,
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I think, is that all? Oh, now here's another one by Greg T. I think I got one more. Okay, let's see. This one, he says, here is a CNC and ox laser project that I did. They are 2-inch circles of a 1/4 inch ply and then lasered on both sides. They are pocket markers for my son's pool team.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Yeah. Pocket markers. Okay. All righty. Let's see here. Don't see anything worth reporting there. So
No. Anybody got any questions? Feel free. CNC software, CNC controller, CNC building, CNC, which one to buy? The Gatton CNC, best and least expensive on the market, best bang for your buck.
Okay, this is Keith Painter's photos that he sent me. It doesn't say a whole lot about this one other than it's walnut, 3D carved, 5.5 inches diameter.
Ashtray? Looks like an ashtray, a cigar tray.
I guess you put your stogie on there and, yeah. I like that. It's pretty walnut.
Where are folks getting spindle power cable? We've got a question from Mars Pirate there.
Okay, we'll get to those.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right,
first
is a, let's see what this one is. This is a golf ball marker.
Yeah.
Says it's a tad bigger than a 1/4.
Yeah. It's the usual size.
That's pretty nice. I like that.
Yeah.
And let's see what the next one is. All right, let me go find the. Okay, this is Lake Murray, Columbia, South Carolina. in case you're wondering what that is. It's 1/4 inch plywood done with a 1/16 end mill. It's 43 inches by 19 inches. And the lady mounted it on a board with cordless LED backlights, which will be right there. So that's
pretty darn spiffy.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, I like the backlights.
Yeah, I do too. That looks good. All right, now I don't know. Well, there must be something else here. Ah, yes. Let's see where this one is. This is made of pine, lasered South Carolina palmetto and moon on window shutters. And we have a picture with them inside.
Very nice.
They look very nice. I like that. Okay. I think that's all I had from Keith. Yeah, that was his.
Yep.
Let's see here. Who we got left? We got a couple left here. Okay. Let me get to the right email over here. Okay, this is from Terry Jones. I don't know if he's out there watching or not. Anyway, this is, well, he says he doesn't really say much about him. He says one of them's a stool. We'll get to that one in just a sec. But he says that these were all done with his shoestring CNC. So that's the old CNC. What is it I call it? How to build a CNC on a shoestring budget.
Shoestring budget.
Yeah. It's been so long I can't even remember what it was.
Yeah.
So there's a nice 3D carve. Let's see here. This is well, is that one of his?
Man, I got to order a bunch of connectors.
I think it's hold on here. Somehow did I open up the wrong thing? Yeah, I think I did. I think I'm looking at. Let me back up here. I think I've opened it. I'm saying it's Terry Jones, but I think that's the one Mike Haichu sent. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Mike. I got my emails mixed up. Okay, so this is Mike Haichu. There's probably somebody correcting me in the chat going, "No, you idiot. That's not. I didn't do that." But yeah, nope. This is. He says, my wife and I have been doing a giveaway on Saturday nights during the quarantine. Here are a few I have done on the CNC. This one is a 3D carving, 11 inches, done with 1/4 inch end mill roughing pass and an 062 or 1/16 ball nose finish pass. Okay, that's that one.
You're not sharing, Dave.
Oh.
Yep. You went back to, there you go.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so I wasn't showing that a while ago either. Well, no wonder nobody said anything.
I just noticed it now.
Okay, so now that I got it back on there. That's the 3D carving, 11 inches, done with a 1/4 inch end mill for the roughing pass and a 16th ball nose for the finish pass. All right, we'll get back on track here. Okay.
Yeah.
Now this, see, I knew when I saw Kentucky, that's what I'm thinking. Wait a minute, that's my kaiju. Okay, so this one is an acrylic light diamond drag bit project.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope I'm correct. That does look like the shape of Kentucky to me.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it is. Then let's see what else we got. He says, made this for the nurses at the home where my mother lives. 12 inches done with 1/4 inch end mill roughing pass and a 16th ball nose finish pass. So that's nice. Got Nurse there with the angel wings. Okay. And this is a serving tray, laser engraved. Very nicely done.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. Good job, Mike.
Yep.
Becca says, show it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm a little slow, Becca. All right. So I think that's it for Mike. So let me cut that off. And I think I got one more left, and you can guess who this is now because it should be Terry Jones. Yeah. I don't know why I was looking at his name when I opened up the folder, but it was Mike Heichi's folder. So, all right, let me get to Sharon again. This is let me find the email. Here it is. All right, now these were all done on his shoestring.
Nice.
And this is a stool. Like I said, he doesn't really tell me a whole lot about it other than they were all done on his shoestring.
There's a huge conversation going on about driver voltages. I'll put in my 2 cents when you finish showing the
okay. All right.
this stuff. Cause...
All right. Yeah. Here's I guess that's 3D. I'm not. It looks like the book may be. I like that. And this looks like the that one of those free Vectric projects that they've had. I'm not sure if that is, but it looks like one. In fact, I think that's one I got back when they first did it, and I never have made it. But it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So very well done there, Terry. Okay, this is the top of the stool, I think, is what we're looking at here.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, there it is. There's another shot of it. And that must be it. Yeah, I guess that's it.
Sweet.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for sending me those pictures. I appreciate that. I always love seeing what people are making.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really like it. Yeah, right. It's a steampunk birdhouse. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's one of the Vectric projects that he does. Rob Schuster asked, does he have a rotary on the shoestring? I don't know. I don't know if Terry out there. I don't know if he's.
I don't know. I haven't seen him, but could be.
Okay. Jerry Brown says some seriously creative goodness going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We always see lots of cool projects. And like I've said before, and I'll say it again, sometimes we'll go, hey, we haven't done a show and tell show in a while. So, next week we'll do show and tell and everybody send in your pictures. But anytime you have something, just like Dave Matthews did, he says, hey, I got this one thing I did. It's kind of cool. If you want to show it, send it to me. I'm happy to show projects because, we want to see them anytime.
Yep.
But I want to see the recent stuff. Don't go back into your catalog of photos and dig up stuff you made the last 3 years.
Right.
I want to see what you've been doing with it recently. But yeah, lots of good stuff. All right.
Got lots of different questions out there.
All right. I guess I need to scroll back because I don't see them now.
I saw one way back from the first one I remember was Mass Pirate was asking about some sort of cable for a spindle. And then from there were a few more. Let's see.
Okay. Well, I see.
Snowing, hurricane. Here we go. Where are folks getting budget-friendly spindle power cable? I think I should be getting double shielded 16.4 for the 2.2 kilowatt spindle I ordered. You know, you're going to get opinions right and left, and
Isn't 16.4 a little heavy to try to get it in that little connector?
well, no, 16.4 is perfectly fine. I mean, this is what I'm using for the connectors now. Well, no, I'm sorry. No, I'm using 18.4. 16.4 is pretty thick.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because you don't have a lot of room in that.
You don't need 16.4. I mean, we're talking that connector pulls somewhere in the neighborhood of tops 4.5 amps. I mean, the 2.2 kilowatt, that's 4.2 amps peak. So you're looking at, I mean, even 18 is overkill. Well, 18's appropriate. 16.4. Now, as far as shielded, look, I don't see. First of all, that's power going through there, not data. The only time I really say you have to have shielded cable is when you're crossing, when you have a lot of bleed over from heavy duty power lines. I mean, in your shop, if you're running a lot of power and they're running parallel to data lines, and then you might get some bleed over. So you need shielding. Other than that, I have never had an instance in any of my tools in any of my shops, unless I'm using a really old tool that really transmits a lot of bad RF. But even so, that I've needed shielding on anything. That's me. Shielding is always better. Yes, I will not argue that, but shielding could be worse. I've said this before. If you don't properly ground it, and by properly ground it is, well, you have to know it's different in each situation. You could actually be creating, the shield could be an antenna. So, you know, be very careful. You're better off just playing it safe and not using shielded cable. That's perfectly fine. I'm sure Ryan and Matthew, Dave Matthews would agree with me. I know and Jerry Brown, they're into the. You can ask them about the electronics also. 99% of the time, we agree on everything because it's the right way. It's the way we've been taught and learned.
Okay, another question here. When building a CNC mill with 425-ounce stepper motors, what voltage should I use on the stepper motors and why? Will 24 volts, 5 amps power supply work?
All right.
One
yes,
for each motor.
It will work, but that's the bare minimum. I'd go 36 if I were you. You can go 48 if you want more instantaneous speed or higher speed. You can go 48, but it's really not necessary. But one or the other will work. 24, there are certain drivers that 24 the range is 20 to 50, but 24 is in the bottom line and I've had some DM 542s that do not work on 24, despite the fact that it's supposed to. So I wouldn't go 24. 5 amp, yes, but again, if we're talking about our area, our DIY hobby boxes, hobby controllers, which are usually around the 425 stepper motors, NEMA 23s, they're pulling anywhere between 2.5 to 3.5 amps, and times 4, you could say 14 amps, but they never pull 4, all of them peak at the same time. That's just unheard of. At most, they pull 8 amps. So a 10 amp power supply is more than enough. But a lot of people enjoy having one per and take up all this space and all this extra power. It's not necessary.
All right, next question. I see most people getting a spindle that is 220 volt. Anyone gotten a 110 to use with the Gatton? The only people that I've seen say they get a 110 is because they don't have 220 in their shop and don't want to get it run or for whatever reason. So,
I can't speak to that one. I've never had a 110.
Yeah,
spindle.
I've seen some guys on the Facebook group say that's what they got, and that's usually why they say they get it is because they don't have 220 in their shop.
Yep.
And maybe they don't have an electrician buddy like I do that will come run it for free. Let's see.
Yeah, Roger commented you want 14.4. No, not for a
yeah, all that. That's way heavy there.
That's you don't need 16.4.
Yeah.
Although it is, I mean, obviously the heavier the cable, if you can fit it in there, the more beneficial.
Yeah, you'll be careful when you go to solder that.
Oh, as far as that other question, where do you get a connector? I mean, I get the cable, I got the connector, I build my own. I mean, it's a little soldering skill and just that's what you do if it doesn't come with one pre-wired. But usually most of those spindles will bring an aviation plug in the kit. You have to wire it, but they'll bring it. So
yeah, Jerry Brown says I had an outdoor extension cord, the orange one, and chopped off the end, wired up the spindle, and planned to replace it. But
never got around to it.
I never got. Yeah, that sounds like me because it's. I always do something kind of jury rig it to get it going, and then it's like, yeah, I'll fix that later. I never do because as long as it keeps working, I keep using it.
It sounds too familiar for all of us. Yep.
Yeah. Let's see here.
And also, as to the comment on the how much voltage, it also depends what if you're doing NEMA 24s, I mean NEMA 23s or 24s with the 542s, then like I said before, I recommend at least 36. But if you're doing NEMA 17s with TB 6600s, then 24 is fine. So again, everything, and you'll hear me say this all the time, match your power supply with your control board, with your motors, with your dip switches. I mean, everything with your wires. Everything should be matched as best as possible for best efficiency.
I was just looking here. Yeah, that does say shift up. Yeah, here's a comment that David Matthews says 36 to 48 volts, pretty normal, up to about 60 volt if your drivers would take it. Higher voltage overcomes inductance faster.
Yep.
And gives snappier movement and higher top speed that you probably don't need.
That you don't need. And don't be fooled. I mean, Dave is absolutely 100% correct on paper and not in theory. In practicality, it will give a snappier move, but that also depends on what setting you have for acceleration. And in motors this big, you won't notice it because you're talking about moving a lot of weight. It's not like a printer where it's basically moving a very, very light print head and that thing can zip back and forth. It's when you're talking about something this big. I mean, I get up to speed in with a 10 acceleration. I get up to speed in 2 seconds? Not even. So Yeah. We're talking milliseconds of tenths of a second of difference.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm scrolling. I'm slowly scrolling back down. I had to scroll way up to get that comment, and now I'm having to get back down here to see if there's anything new. We're still talking about wiring and stuff here.
Yeah, and like he said, 60 volts. It's most of these drivers, certainly the DM24s, 542s are.
Yeah, Greg Euler says he has a 110.
Yeah,
I knew somebody had
cool.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another one. Dave Krause says his is 110. Okay.
Yeah, the 542s are they won't run past 50 volt. The 6600s won't run past 40 volt, I believe, if I remember correctly. But they got some, I think the 556s and some of the more powerful stepper drivers will. But again, it's all about my advice, my personal opinion, and I know you share this with me, Dave, is you don't want to go underpowered. You definitely don't want to go underpowered, but you don't want overkill when you're on a hobby machine. I'm because you're basically looking to throw away money for something that's not needed. Once you get a certain number of it's like the Mach 3, Mach 4 argument. Why are you going to pay a lot more money for stuff that you're never going to use, that's for industrial, and it's not supported? It's the whole, get the right balance.
Troy wants to know if there's any electrician buddies in Michigan. Speaking of electrician buddies, some of you, because I know a lot of you folks that are in here tonight, joined me on the coffee sessions. I talked to my buddy Jim. He's my electrician buddy, and he had been really bad sick. Wasn't the COVID-19? It was just a bug, and he got pneumonia and stuff. But he tested negative for the COVID stuff. But I talked to him today, and he is sounding fantastic. He's still, taking it easy. And, he said he made about 6 trips back and forth to the mailbox, and he's got a really long driveway. And he was kind of wore out after that. But just to give anybody an update, because every once in a while somebody will ask me, how's your buddy Jim doing? And he's doing good. He's doing good. So hopefully we'll be having lunch at the Mexican place down the road here before too much longer, because I sure miss that place. I haven't been into that Mexican restaurant in months.
Yeah.
They have really good stuff there. All right, let's see. See if we got any other questions. Ronnie S., who might be a new viewer, because I don't know if I've ever seen Ronnie S. in here before. He says, I have an issue with missed steps with NEMA 34s. If I run above 500 inches per minute, I lose steps. Any ideas? What kind of machine are you running, Ronnie?
Yep.
And of course, my next response is going to be, that's who you should be talking to. If you have a problem with a machine, unless it's something built yourself, then you can only ask yourself. But if you've got a machine, whatever it may be, that's who you should be talking to ask them.
But otherwise,
I don't try to troubleshoot anybody else's machine, and unless it's just a general thing, But still, I don't like to do it because I just worry about my stuff. I know I can know about my stuff, but I'm tell other companies how to fix their stuff, and they shouldn't tell people how to fix mine. So
yeah, exactly, and I agree with you. While I'm an electrical engineer, so I am happy to give anybody advice. Rarely do I do it publicly. Like on a forum, because there's too many people giving bad advice, and then you just you just pull your hair out. I'm sure like Dave and Ryan and these people and Sherry can back me up on that one. But definitely if it's with a particular brand of machine, go to them first, because they know their machine better than anybody, and they can tell you. If it's a home built machine, well, there's a few reasons for that. And
I don't mean to sound like a smart aleck here when I say this, but Ryan and Clyde both are asking me what voltage on the NEMA 34s on my Avid. My Avid was a plug and play deal, and it was a plug and play deal. So I don't have any idea without going to the website and look at the specs. So if you want to know, that's where you're going to have to go, because I hardly even open the control thing to look in there. Yep. I had it open when I was hooking up the brackets, putting it together and stuff, but since then it's run perfect, so I haven't.
Exactly.
I don't know, and I don't care what voltage it is as long as it runs. So
Yep.
But yeah, I would check out their website if you want to know that question. Let's see. And like I said, I wasn't trying to be a smart ass. I don't know. Because again, I know my machines. If you ask me about the one I built, designed and built, I can tell you, but the other one, I don't know.
Exactly.
Let's see. Oh, there's a little thing.
Ooh, Larry Duggar has an interesting question. What are the advantages between that's an easy one. Between VCARV 10 and 9?
Well, I can think of one right off the bat.
Yep.
If somebody sends you a file that's done with VCARV 10, you'll be able to open it.
That's a good one. Yeah. Yeah. That is, yeah. There's oh my God, now it slipped my mind. There's one feature that I really, really enjoyed about it. I've talked to Mark a dozen times. By the way, Mark will probably tell you half a dozen features, but there was one in particular. Well, one of them is you can have multiple large tool clearance paths now.
Yeah.
As opposed
I'm guessing Larry may be asking because he has 9 and he has not.
Yeah, he hasn't made the jump. I'll tell you this, Larry. I don't know for what it's worth. I had 8.5, and I did not make the jump until 10. Because I couldn't put it off. It was wonderful. I mean, because basically for me, 6.5, 7, 8, 9, they were all very, very minor upgrades, and they was all basically the same stuff. Just a few nice features. But 10, and I forgot what it was. There was something in it in 10 which was just, there were a few fantastic features that'll really save you time and trouble.
All right, Ronnie S. says that he has an Avid CNC, so maybe that's why he was asking me that question. But Ronnie, I did a video a while back because Avid has these specs on their website, and they'll say, "Oh, it'll do rapids of this and stuff." So I thought, okay, I'm just going to see if it will do it. And mine, I have the Pro 4848 with the NEMA 34s, and they claimed on their website that it will do 1,000 inches a minute. And of course, that's rapid moves. So I, by default, because I just downloaded the XML file, like I said, I haven't changed nothing. Everything is exactly the way they have it set up. And it's, it runs your rapids at 600 inches a minute on default. And I don't know what kind of Avid. You may not have one. You may have a smaller one than I do, or maybe a bigger one than I do. I don't know. Mm-hmm. And you also may have the standard one and not the Pro one. There's just to say I got an Avid CNC. There's a bunch of different ones. That doesn't really tell me exactly what you have. But anyway, so mine is always run at 600 inches a minute. So I did that video and I went from 6 to I forget what I went up to, 800 or something, and then I went to 1,000. But it'll do it, and it didn't have any, didn't lose any steps, none of that stuff. So I'm wondering if you've is that something that's just started happening, or is this you're trying to do it from the start? Maybe you got the wrong XML file or something.
Did you buy everything from Avid, or did you make your own controller? Did you make your own?
That's the other thing.
There's a lot of questions.
In my case, I can expect a lot out of my machine because all the stuff I got was from them. I got their plug and play spindle. I got their plug and play controller. So I paid the big money and I expect it to work, and it does. But they also have other options where you can try to do some of this yourself, do your own controller and blah, 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 and, put your own spindle on there and all that stuff. So,
Yep.
Anyway, all right, we're gonna get off of here in a second here. Well, I must have hit my timer early because we're not even over an hour yet. Jerry Brown says, I am going to get a Spire next jump, probably. I think I am too, Jerry. I've downloaded the trial version the other day, and I probably haven't played around with it 20 minutes since I got it. But I think I'm gonna
make the jump.
Splurge.
See, I decided
48 volts.
I decided to spend my money on a trencher instead.
Yeah. Ryan, again, when you go you might be right. I don't know. I'd have to go look, but there's a lot of different versions. They have the standard version and they have the Pro version. So I don't know if they're the same or not. They might be. I would agree, Greg. VCAR 10 is a great update. And getting back to Larry's thing, I know it's hard to make that jump and spend that money and get the upgrade stuff, but it's always worth it.
Yeah.
They always have some cool features. All right.
I agree. Vectric's a fantastic company. All righty.
I don't even understand some of these comments.
I see Jerry from Jerry's Machine is out there. I might have to have a chat with him. I wonder if he's still doing steel work. I wonder how he's doing. Jerry, how are you doing? Because I'm looking forward to the new trencher, and I want to make a couple modifications on it.
All right, we have a finishing question.
Ooh.
Okay, Ronnie says he got a Pro 48 by 96. Well, mine's the 48, so yours is basically twice as big as mine is. So I know you've had to pay a pretty penny, and I would definitely be getting in touch with them. That's why we pay the big bucks for those kind of machines, is because they've got a staff of customer service people.
Yep.
I had somebody else ask me something like that the other day, and I just said, hey, I might be able to help you, but that's not my job. I work for Gatton CNC. That's why we pay the big bucks when you buy an Avid or a Laguna or whatever. That's part of their deal. They've got a big building with staff and engineers and all that stuff. That's why their stuff costs more. So you should hit them up and find out what's going on. Okay, here's the question. Mako Shark says, I have a question. Should I use shellac versus clear on oak?
Shellac or clear? Does he mean yellow shellac or clear shellac, or does he mean clear lacquer versus shellac?
Well, again, here he just says shellac or clear on oak wood.
Well, that all depends on what kind of look you want from it. It's like everything else. Every time we get asked these questions,
both of them look great. So
yeah, I every time I get asked a coating question like that, it's a matter of preference. It really is. It's everybody's got an opinion. Everybody's going to go one way or another, but ultimately, it's whatever looks good to you.
Jerry Brown says, Javi dropped a bag of something behind the box. He will be looking for it for an hour.
No, I heard the screws fall. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, I think I found it. Yeah, I'm looking for my heat shrink, my black heat shrink.
Okay, Jerry has an opinion on this. He says clear because shellac is an art form.
Yeah, I was going to say the beautiful thing about shellac is you could just recoat it with shellac and it'll, but you can do the same thing with lacquer. It'll dissolve the first layer, as it goes.
Yeah. Rob Schuster says, I have had good results with water-based urethane on oak. Wipe on, no brush. There you go. And I know Rob knows what he's talking about because I've seen his work. Jerry says he uses clear in an HVLP. All righty. And Samurai says oak should only be done in early American period. LOL.
We know where he stands.
Yeah.
All right.
Michael Bell says, if it will be used as a surface, shellac might be harmed by things like alcoholic drinks. Hanging on a wall is okay. And then Glenn says, isn't shellac food safe?
Yes, it is.
Mako says, Rust-Oleum clear coat spray can work. I'm a big fan. I haven't used shellac and I couldn't tell you when, but I'm a big fan of the spray stuff. To me, that's pretty easy. And I'm lazy when it comes to that. I don't like finishing stuff anyway. A lot of times I just end up making pretty firewood.
Yeah.
Botch the finish. Dave Matthews says, I use Danish oil because I am terrible with a paintbrush. Yeah, I can relate there, buddy.
I've used Danish oil on a few projects. I like lacquer because I don't like it because it gives it a glossy finish. However, it sells better, and it's nice and tough. It dries quick. It's easy with an HVLP to spray, large amounts and relatively cheap. But I mean, there are so many different ways to finish a piece.
Tim DeLine has a question, I guess, for Jerry Brown, because he was talking about the HVLP sprayer.
Oh.
He says, does the spray tip harden up on the HVLP sprayer? Can you leave it full after using?
Well, I never have. I don't know about Jerry.
Yeah, I would say you got to clean all that stuff. You can't leave it set for very long.
I mean, I'm a painting contractor, so I've got numerous sprayers, but most of my sprayers are for latex. I do oils, but they're almost all of them are airless. So when I do use HVLP, I got to take 10 times more care in cleaning it. So, when I'm finished with whatever I'm cleaning now, I have whether it's urethane, outdoor urethane, or lacquer, I have had the gun outside. I'd spray a coat, let the coat dry, hit it with the gun again, and the tip shouldn't dry. But if it's lacquer, it's not a problem because it'll dissolve once you start spraying again.
I think there's your answer, Tim. Jerry says, I clean them. My uncle left clear in there and it destroyed an HVLP.
Yep. Yeah, I wouldn't leave it in there. I wouldn't leave it inside the hoses or anything like that. Hey, lacquer thinner's cheap.
Yeah. Jerry,
compared to a new gun.
How you doing, Jerry? He says he uses spray lacquer. I'm a big fan of the Deft, DEFT brand.
Oh yeah.
I like that.
I used to do all my furniture projects used to be Deft sanding sealer, and then I'm embarrassed to say polyurethane on top of it. It works great and it lasts long and it's a nice hard shell, but after getting into woodworking and stuff, I'm not a fan of polyurethane. It's you can't put polyurethane on top of polyurethane. You got to take it all off. It chips. Well, don't get me started on poly, but it's quick and simple if you want to do something quick and simple, but then so is lacquer.
All right. Well, I guess it's about time for us to wrap this up here. I don't see any other questions popping up. And I guess we'll put this one in the books.
Sounds good. And Dean is absolutely right. It yellows too.
Yeah.
That's another thing I don't like about it. Yep.
All righty. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. We've had well over 100 folks watching tonight. I appreciate the thumbs up and the one thumbs down that somebody gave. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's all
part of the game.
Folks, don't matter. But anyhow, we're gonna wrap this one up and get out of here. Javi, thanks for hanging around tonight.
Always happy to be here.
We will see y'all next week. Don't forget, if you haven't already voted, go watch the videos. There's 22 of them, but it won't take you that long to go through them. I think the longest one is, well, there's one that's over 10 minutes, but most of them are probably 3-4 minutes. A lot of them less than that, but go watch them, go vote. Don't complain if you don't vote. Yeah, just like in real politics. You better just shut up and don't say anything. So anyway, we will see y'all next week, folks. Everybody have a good one, and happy Mother's Day to all those wonderful mothers out there. See y'all.